So if you watched my other wiper video, you might recall there was a lot of slop in the action, and this slop was caused by a worn-out bushing, and that Toyota did not make these bushings replaceable, and that Toyota wants $320 for the part required to fix the problem. You might also recall that I went cheap and tried to fashion my own bushing with quick steel plastic repair, and that it worked. Fast forward a year and a half. Now the wipers completely stopped working. The wiper motor runs, but the wipers remain motionless. Before I even began to diagnose the failure this time, I decided to see what was out there in the way of aftermarket wiper linkages, and if there was a knockoff cheap enough, I'd buy it. Turns out there were some as cheap as $43. Worth a shot, I thought. Couldn't be much worse than the originals, right? So I ordered them. When they arrived, I picked a free Saturday and began to dig into the firewall. Turns out it was my makeshift bushing that failed. I'm going to say it was a weakness in materials rather than theory. Perhaps JB Weld would have been a better choice. But the milk is already spilled, and since we already have an entirely new wiper transmission waiting in the wings, let's go ahead and replace the thing and be done with it. Here is the old wiper transmission lying on the ground. I thought for the viewer's benefit I would compare the old to the new side by side. In doing so, I found an obvious problem. The new part was too small. I went back and checked my order, and yes, I'd ordered the correct one. There being no numbers on the part itself, I'm not sure if the store sent the wrong part or if the manufacturer botched something up in their inventory. Regardless, I had to return the part and order another. This time I splurged on a $72 part with a single 5-star review. While awaiting the part, I needed to take the Sequoia on an all-day trip on a day that called for rain. What do you do when you have no wipers but must drive in the rain? RainX. The new part actually came while I was applying the RainX. but I didn't have time for the repair, and as you will see, it's good I didn't attempt it, as it did not come off without a hitch. The video doesn't do it justice, but the RainX worked beautifully. My wife and I, in fact, both decided it was easier to see at night on the interstate in a downpour with just a RainX coated windshield than it was to see with perfectly functioning wipers. But this video's not about RainX, so let's get back to the wiper linkages.
No! Help!